What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode number 63. I'm Fox2. Today we're here with Topher,
This isn't my silent episode.
the whole F and Brian,
He could have been silent but deadly.
and Pirate is taking a little nappy poo this morning. So,
Is he swabbing the dick? I mean, deck?
yes, that and chasing the booty or swabbing the booty. How's that go?
Swabbing the booty, chasing the deck?
It's amazing how much shit you take when you're not here for an episode.
Shmee! Come here, Shmee! I need
Sure
a
he was-
fluffer.
So if you had to pick a pirate from the Robin Williams movie Hook, which one would pirate be? Brian?
Smee.
You think
Smee.
he-
Definitely Smee.
Definitely Smee.
Okay, if he's Shmee, who is his Captain Hook that he's just like chasing around trying to make fall in love with him? Because Shmee is basically chasing Hook's tail the whole time.
His dog, to make it awkward.
Oh, God. All right. Let's jump right in and start talking about what we've been reading. Brian, why don't you lead us off?
This week, what you've been reading is Star Wars issue number 2.
Ah, damn it.
Hey, you could talk with me.
No,
uh,
no, I don't have anything to say because I haven't read it yet. Because I thought it came out next week, and somebody just told me yesterday that it came out this week. I'm like, damn it, I haven't been to the
Next
comic
week
book
is
store yet.
Vader.
Darth
issue
Vader.
number 1.
Yeah.
But not to bring any spoilers for Topher, but it's been really good. I really like how Marvel is treating this book. It's only been 2 issues, but each issue has been like exciting to read, and I'm excited for the next one. But I've never read any of the Dark Horse Star Wars when they had it, but I like where Marvel's taking this. It takes place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and it's just been like watching the movie. Same kind of like feeling you get while you read it. Same kind of action. Same kind of, all of the Star Wars characters are written with their personalities intact from the movie. It's been really good. I really enjoy it. Hopefully, when Vader comes out next week, that will be just as good. The preview they show you looks just as good. So, I'm really excited for that. And this book's been amazing for the first 2 issues. So,
Wow, you know what?
Yeah.
I was just looking up some statistics on it, and actually Star Wars number 1 was January's number 1 seller. It was the top-selling comic book.
It wasn't just January's. It's been like the top-selling comic book since like.
It's just now February 7th.
Well, I'm aware of that, but I mean, like it was like the highest-selling comic book since Amazing Spider-Man number 1 last year.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just the monthly report from Diamond Distributors. It
Right.
was Star Wars 1, followed by Batman number 38, Amazing Spider-Man 12, Amazing Spider-Man 13, Uncanny Avengers 1, Wolverines 1, Ant-Man 1, Thor number 4, Justice League number 38, and then Walking Dead number 136. Which is crazy because Marvel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 10 of those titles. DC has 2, and then Image has The Walking Dead, obviously. So
yeah,
It's weird because it seems like every month Marvel's books like top the list, and yet for the year, that's why I was surprised when I was reading off the end of year statistics a few episodes ago that like DC had sold the most throughout the year. It's like, wait, how does Marvel win like every month and DC still wins for the year? But I guess it's like the strength of the rest of the titles, not just the
yeah,
high-selling crossover number 1 issues. That it's the rest of filling out the catalog there.
yeah. I think what it boils down to is Marvel has a lot of number 1s, so they dominate that top 10 list. But then I would say if you were to look at like the top 50, that middle of the road section is probably all DC, Detective Comics and Green Lantern, Red Arrow, or Red Lantern, the Green Arrow stuff. All the different DC titles probably come in the middle there, followed up then by the rest of the Marvel stuff. There's probably a great disparity in the middle of that list where it just stacks up all the DC stuff. Is really the only way that I could see it happening. Although right now, for January, Marvel Comics had 41% of the market share, which is crazy. To DC's 24%.
Wait, 24 you said?
Yeah, Marvel had 41%, DC had 24%. That's retail market share. Unit market share, Marvel Comics had 45 to DC's 27. And then you have all the rest, Image, IDW, Dark Horse, Boom Studios, Dynamite, Valiant, Avatar, Titan, and then everybody else after that. But gosh, after DC Comics, it drops down from 27% to like an 8% market share. It's a huge disparity between the two. So, anyway, Brian, back to you. Sorry, I didn't mean to totally hijack the conversation there.
But I think I was done. Yeah, that was basically it.
Okay. Topher, what about you? What have you been reading this week, man?
Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to read much of anything lately. I really need to get back into it. I keep playing too much Diablo.
We're
adults.
And Brian should read the directions on the back of his cough syrup bottle, because, damn.
I started playing some Diablo again recently as well, since they added the new ancient legendary items and stuff. I don't know. It seems all right. I haven't played a ton of it yet, but
it's same as before, except if your gear was like already damn near perfect, then now you have a better chance of actually getting something to drop that's an upgrade. So that's all they keep doing. They just keep dangling the carrot a little
on the
further
stick.
out.
Yep, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Yep, total carrot on the stick syndrome. Let's see. As far as what I've been reading this week, I went back and read Batman, I think it was 38, Endgame Part 3. Brian, I think you talked about that last week, where it ends with... it ends
I love how every time you talk about a comic book, it's always... It ends with blah, blah, blah. Like,
spoiler alert. It ends with Batman going to the Court of Owls for assistance. I kind of jumped into this storyline like halfway through, but it seems really good. I also read... Oh gosh, what else did I read? I read Batman Eternal as usual. Man, I can't even remember what all I've read this week. It wasn't a ton of stuff. I think I went back and read a few like Red Lantern and things that I had missed, just to kind of get back up to date on a few things. And some Detective Comics. I read a few Detective Comics. I'm really liking those. But that's about it. I was not overly impressed with the stuff that DC came out with last week. I am looking forward to this week coming up because I think... Let me check here real quick, but I believe that this coming week is when the next Justice League comes out. Can you confirm that?
Hold on one second. Let me bring it up.
I'm not sure if that's 100% true. I don't have the page up on my computer currently, but I am definitely looking forward to the next Justice League. That's been probably my favorite storyline. Does that come out this coming week?
Trying to get to it.
Oh, okay.
Pain in the butt on a tablet.
I think I can. Let me look it up real quick. In case you guys are ever curious, I'll just throw a pitch out here for comicrelated.com. They have a shipping next week section, and it shows what's coming out every single week.
No, it's not next week.
It's not this coming week?
Or just Justice League United or Justice
Okay.
League 3000.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe another week after that. So, but yeah, as I was saying, comicrelated.com, great website, tons of articles, shipping next week section where they show what's coming out for pretty much all publishers, all major publishers, including some of the bigger independent publishers. Every single week, it's a full list, including usually including like collectibles and collected editions like hardback, trade paperbacks, all that different stuff. And they also have an awesome podcasting section where they happen to feature us as one of their channels. Pitch, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Figure.
So, yeah, it's an awesome website. If you're a comic book fan, check them out, comicrelated.com. They've been great. They've been supporting us since, like, episode 7 or something like that. Very, very early on in us podcasting, they showed us some love and have been featuring us weekly on their website every week. So, shout out to them. Thanks a lot, Chuck from Comic Related. We really appreciate the support. And that's it for the what we've been reading, mainly because I can't remember half of what I read this week.
We're old.
I'm old. Yes. You might be
I can
able to
remember.
see some gray hairs in the beard here.
I can remember. Oh, there you go. That's your new pirate name, Graybeard.
Graybeard.
Now,
right.
Now, pirate. Now you
Can chase Captain Graybeard.
Exactly. Smee can chase you around now.
Oh, I see. All right, Topher, we're over to you for the section that gets literally no preparation at all each week. Tabletop Game of the Week.
Oh, Christ. Right.
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 And here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Candyland.
Check out the panicked look on Topher's face as he scrambles to find the nearest board game.
Uno.
Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna cheat this week and not name a game that actually specifically exists. But I'm gonna throw out a reference here too. I didn't read this, so I didn't talk about it in my what we've been reading. But there's a crossover that just started this week from Brian Michael Bendis called Black Vortex. That's a crossover between his X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy books, and in it. Rocket Raccoon is actually running a game of it's basically like a tabletop like D&D or Pathfinder type game for Groot and Drax and Gamora and Agent Venom and Captain Marvel, and they're all sitting around playing with these little miniatures, and Rocket Raccoon is like, he's the DM, and he's like and he's like saying that a Skrull can breathe fire, and Drax is like, Skrulls can't breathe fire. He's like, damn it, I'm the game master. If I say a Skrull can breathe fire, then a Skrull can breathe fire. and it was pretty amusing to watch them all sit around and play, and like Drax is like, then I want to kill the game master, and Gamora's like, I want to be the new game master. And it was kind of funny to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy sit around a table and play some basically Marvel Cosmic D&D. That I thought that was pretty amusing. So the game of the week will be a generic tabletop RPG, Marvel Cosmic D&D that doesn't actually exist, but a shout out to its appearance in Black Vortex this week.
All right, fair enough. I'll do an actual tabletop game. Have you ever played Munchkin?
I guess my section wasn't good enough.
I've eaten Munchkins.
Have you ever played Munchkin, Topher?
Yeah, a little bit. I've got one of them, but
it's a very fun game. Tons of add-on. There's at least 3 add-on editions. There's a deluxe version. It's a card game, 3 to 8 players.
There's way more than that.
Yeah, I'm just looking like at what I see right here in front of me. There's at least 3. So there's way more than that.
There's at least 3 comic books. Yeah, so have you heard of comic books? Apparently, like, stores sell them, and there's like There's like at least 3 different titles,
Have
and
I ever told you about how much I hate Topher, Brian?
However, have I ever told you that you're my hero? I don't remember how the rest of the song goes.
I get that you think that my segment maybe wasn't good enough, but you're not really one-upping me here
I'm
with
not
your
really one-upping you. All right.
Munchkin.
All right, well, fuck it. Munchkin, it's a card game, 3 to 8 players, takes an hour to play. Look it up on Amazon if you want it, motherfuckers. Done.
Yeah.
$15.79 on Amazon. It's fun.
If
Enough said.
not, then go back and play Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, because that shit was
'Cause-
hilarious.
Yeah, I played that this Tuesday at my friend's house after watching The Flash. It was a fun time.
All right, let's jump into the news section. We got
We got a lot of news
Yeah,
today.
Quite a bit to talk
yeah,
about.
there's a good amount of stuff to talk about here. Let me start things off with a request from one of our loyal viewers. I don't personally watch this television show. I was, but I don't have Hulu Plus anymore, so I'm hoping that one of you has some information about this television show. Otherwise, this is going to be a big swing and a miss. We got a request to talk a little bit about the Constantine TV show and what we thought about it. So,
I do watch it.
okay, here we go. Good.
I haven't watched the past 2 episodes, the past 2 weeks yet.
Yeah,
but
I'm 3 or 4 episodes behind, but I have seen most of it.
Okay.
But it's a really good show. I really like it. At first, like the pilot got me kind of like, it seems like a Doctor Who BBC setting. And then after watching a few weeks, I totally enjoy it and totally don't understand why they're not have it slated for a second season. Before we came on today, I saw that Sci-Fi might pick it up and then rename the title to Hellblazer. But I think it's a great TV show. I think it's entertaining as hell, no pun intended. But I really like it. I think what's his name, Matt Ryan.
I don't remember the actor's name. I can look.
Tober,
it up
do you
for
know the actor's name? Is it Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan is a
no,
quarterback.
that's the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, actually.
Yes, it is Matt Ryan. You're correct.
Yeah.
That's
But
a different
I
Matt
think
Ryan,
he plays.
yeah.
I think he plays a really good Constantine.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy the show. I think it's a great show. I think it would be neat if they did tie it into like some of the other shows that are coming out or out. But I think it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I think he does a good Constantine. The show has some humor, but its special effects are actually pretty decent. Like, the show has a very like dark tone without feeling too heavy. Like it's like almost like a good. I mean, if you think about like the tone of series that like you used to watch on like the Sci-Fi Channel years ago, like it feels like that. Like it's got a good vibe to it, even though it's kind of dark and evil. Like there's a good overarching plot. Like Constantine. He they introduce the character, tell you he dabbles a lot in a lot of different types of magic, and like they keep referencing some event in his past where he basically damned a girl to hell, like a young girl to hell, and so like the whole series kind of plays off of that, and he's got his buddy and who's like half immortal basically, and I don't really read a whole lot of Constantine comics, so I don't know like how true it stays to the stories and the characters, but like yeah, the first couple episodes were a little rough because they had a different like I don't know if she like it made it look like they were going to have a different lead female actress, and then they kind of switched to Zed. They brought her in, and it's been working pretty well. Like Papa Midnight's been one of the the primary nemesis in the show, and like just the way they set things up. The sets look nice. The effects are pretty good. There's like this, overarching plot of, his guilt for having damned a girl to hell and trying to get information on her, and then there's this backstory of, the rising dark. They keep talking about, how like the powers in hell are getting stronger, and there's some like demonic force, like, that's kind of empowering all these different, magical energies throughout the world, and so that kind of leads to a higher number of cases for Constantine to run around and try and settle. And so each episode's kind of episodic a bit, they'll find some problem, some demon that he has to go exorcise or something, and they'll travel around the country doing different stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed it. It's like a really fun show to like watch like late at night, because it almost has like a little bit of a horror vibe to it, like a scary, everyone's going to hell sort of vibe, and it's fun to like watch late at night in the dark, and and like it's pretty easy to get into, it's a fun show. So
yeah, I watched the first I want to say 3 episodes. I think about the first three episodes, and I really enjoyed it. My Hulu Plus subscription ran out, and I just haven't got around to renewing it. But
it's on network TV, right?
Yeah, I don't have cable.
Internet.
Oh, well, I could watch it on the internet, I guess.
You can watch them on NBC.com.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll go back and do that. Well, anyway, regardless, I've seen the first three episodes, and I really enjoyed it. I also don't really read much of the Constantine. I maybe have read like 3 Constantine comic books. I have read a handful of the Justice League Dark stuff, which Constantine plays a pretty good role in that title. Throughout certain segments, at least. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very watchable show. I feel like the barrier of entry is very low. You don't have to be knowledgeable about the characters and everything. They do a good job of kind of easing you into the situation and introducing the characters to you in a way that doesn't feel like, hey, this is who this person is and this is why they're important. And it's not a very matter-of-factly type of introduction. It's kind of like through the telling of the story, they're able to kind of reveal who the different characters are and what parts they play and things like that. So it's good. I really like it. Like you said, I got the episodic vibe too, just for the first 3 episodes. Like, it felt like if you missed the first episode, you could jump in and watch the second or third episode, and you would still enjoy the episode. You might not catch right away what the overlying long-term story is going to be, but each individual episode is very watchable in and of by itself, at least from what I, the little bit that I had seen. So that's for sure on my to-do list, is to get back to that. But thank you for the request for the topic. If you guys want to hear anything else at all, hear us talk about anything, make sure to leave us a comment in the comment section. Send us a message on YouTube. Send us a message on Facebook. Facebook.com/Comic Book Nerd Nation, I think is what it is. I'm not sure. Just search Comic Book Nerd Nation. You'll find us. We're on there.
And tell us how smelly Pirate is.
Yes.
Constantine currently has like a 7.6 out of 10 rating on IMDb. So I mean, like, most people like it. It's a decent show. So yeah, I'm honestly surprised they aren't, with the popularity of comic book, IPs right now. I'm really surprised they're not pushing that more. I mean, because what else does NBC have in that realm? Like, it would make sense for them to push that a little harder, and get people watching it, because clearly this shit sells. So
yeah, people
like it. It doesn't make sense that, I mean, I get it all comes down to ratings and whether they can sell commercials and whatnot, but I find it really hard to believe that a show that gets a 7.6 rating on IMDb and, is a comic book property, doesn't have a slot in their lineup, considering most of the rest of their shows suck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
agreed.
On to the next bit. Let's talk about the fact that the CW has revealed the Atom costume for the Arrow TV show. Have you guys seen this? Or
I saw it when they put it up this week. It looks cool. It looks a little Iron Man-ish, but
it looks
I mean,
very extremely Iron Man-ish.
yeah, I mean they're not doing tights, so all their suits have a reason to why they wear them. But I mean, I'm excited to see what it does. I don't know if they're gonna make him shrink, because in a previous episode they see him tinkering with one of the arm gauntlets, and it kind of reminds me of Iron Man 1 when he's in the basement playing with his arm gauntlet and he fires it off.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, so I don't know where they're going with his powers or what they're gonna do, but
See, I thought it looked more like an American Gladiator armor.
yeah, that too, the colors.
It does look like the old school American Gladiator. Laser. Blazer.
Adam.
I mean, he wouldn't be the Atom if they didn't make him shrink at some point. So I mean, I'm sure he's gonna do something like that. I haven't even seen I'm still halfway through season 2 though, so I haven't quite gotten there.
So you're out of the like the fucking ab flexor commercial
Yeah,
portion of
I like.
Arrow. Are you getting ready to say that you liked all those shirtless crunches that he was?
No, that's not what I was gonna say.
He's like, no, I didn't like that. Topher's
No, I
got
was
like
gonna say-
3-minute recording on his DVR of like nothing but Oliver Queen doing fucking shirtless
Yeah.
pull-ups and shit.
There's actually a looped video of it running in a side window over here on my screen
I
right now.
believe it.
No, I was gonna say that, like I liked the show historically. Like, everybody always says, oh, this that was the bad part, or that was the the part where they were only doing this, or when they were like, I don't know. I thought the whole damn show was pretty.
No,
damn
it was
good
always
so
good.
far.
It was always good, but it just gets better. It really does. So, all right. Well, I mean, does anybody have anything else that they want to say about?
Oh yeah.
The Atom.
About that. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you love
Guess what?
talking about shirtless men doing pull-ups, but right now we're talking about the Atom's outfit.
He likes the actor who plays Arsenal's very square, very shaped chin.
Yes.
It is a very, very shaped chin.
This is getting weird. This is getting really weird really quickly.
Chiseled, one might say, and by one I
Yeah.
mean that's what Pirate told me.
It always comes back
That's
to the
his
person
Captain
that's
Hook
talking.
right there.
That's his Captain Hook. All right. Brian, you were mentioning before the show that the Titans characters were revealed. You want to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
For is it TBS or TNT? I think it's TBS is coming out with a Teen Titans or Titans show, and the cast has been revealed this week. As I have to cough again. But they showed that they said that the cast will be Dick Grayson. He will be Robin when we first see him, and he'll be transistoring into Nightwing.
History.
He's already left. They said he's already left. Batman is now in Boston. They said the city will be, and his comrades will be comrades. Or
Are they all Russians?
yeah. Well, me comrade. But Oracle, Barbara Gordon will be Oracle in the wheelchair. Hawk and Dove and Raven and Starfire will be filling out the rest of the Titans. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, they got Dick Grayson in there.
So
And
there
Barbara
might
Gordon.
be a cyborg too. They said.
It's TNT, by the way.
Oh, it's TNT? I
Yes.
knew it was one of the Turner channels. But yeah, I mean, it seems like an exciting show. I'm not sure like where we'll see it, if it'll be in the same like universe, if they'll be crossovering it. I know
Probably
they said that which also found its actress. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but they said the Supergirl show will be whatchamacallit, will be sharing the same universe as Arrow and Flash.
It says that it is reported that there are no telltale signs that Titans is or isn't part of the interconnected universe shared by CW's Flash and Arrow. So, at least as far as those go, we have no idea. That would be awesome.
What network is Supergirl going to be on?
CBS.
CBS.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, it would make sense if they tried to tie it in. It would be stupid for them to have yet another separate fucking universe.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's owned by different companies. It's,
But the thing that drives me nuts about it, though, is, like, it would, if they were all separate, it would be fine. If even just, like, one or two of them crossed over, it'd be fine. The problem is they keep wanting to take characters from other properties,
Brian's gone.
And, okay. They keep wanting to take characters from other properties. Like, let's put Harley Quinn in Arrow. Let's put, this, so it's like, if you use every other show's characters, they're talking about a Suicide Squad movie, meanwhile, there's a Suicide Squad in Arrow, and it's going to be completely different fucking people. If you're going to keep them separate, then use separate lists of characters.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it as long as they keep the cinematic universe separate from the TV universe. As long as as long as they don't say, okay, this movie, the cinematic universe will tie into this TV show, but not this TV show, I would have a problem with that. But if they keep this, at least movies separate from TV shows, I'm okay with them having like a cinematic Suicide Squad and a TV Suicide Squad, and then being different actors and things like that, because it's two separate universes. As long as they stick with the fact that there's a divide there. Now, if they do what Marvel does and try to incorporate a TV show like they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then I agree with you. Then you have to there has to be some uniformity there. There has to be, everything has to be lined up. There needs to be one Suicide Squad, or it needs to be separate characters. Like, you've got your characters for the cinematic universe Suicide Squad, and then you've got different characters that are like the B team of the Suicide Squad on the television show.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think DC's TV shows have been way better than Marvel's. Like, Arrow is hands down like a better show than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The problem you get, and I'm fine with the universes being separate. Like, that's not my issue, because what that allows you to do is have heavy hitters in the TV universe. Mm-hmm. Like, look at Marvel, the way that their TV show is part of their cinematic universe. The box office numbers, the money's in the movies. The TV show is cool and all, but the money is in the movies. So all the big hitters are in the movies, and you're left with the not even B team, C team for the TV show. When you do it like DC's done it and you split them up, then you can have big names in the TV shows. But what weirds me out is that, like, how many characters does DC have? Like, overall, hundreds, probably, maybe 1,000. And could be 4 digits at this point. I don't know. So why is it that, of all the villains, of all the characters, of all the whatever, you've got 2 different universes currently in production that are using different versions of the same subset of fucking characters.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a Suicide Squad in both? And you haven't even seen why does Harley Quinn get introduced and no one's ever even mentioned Batman or the Joker? It's like they're taking the characters that just have, name recognition, and they're like, oh, people like Harley Quinn, let's put her in both, and it's like, now it doesn't make sense. You couldn't find another character on the roster to, so that you can have different, lists of.
I see where you're coming at with
that's
for sure.
Wild thing, but
No, I completely understand where you're coming from. It could definitely get confusing too to people that maybe don't read the comic books, that don't understand kind of how some of this stuff works as well.
But speaking of Marvel's TV shows not being as good, have you seen the new Daredevil trailer?
That
That
was
looks amazing.
that is the exact thing that I was just getting ready to talk about. Daredevil trailer. It comes out on Netflix on April 10th. All the episodes at once too, so you can just binge watch the fuck out of it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
That's exactly what we're all gonna do.
I'm not leaving my bed.
That trailer looks amazing.
Yeah,
I
good thing
love
for
I love the way they're doing his mask too. Like,
Yeah, they're
just the
good.
simple like bandana over the face, like
They're going with Frank Miller's design when he wrote Daredevil for the first costume he wears, kind of like how Spider-Man wore the shitty garb when he was doing the wrestling thing
yeah,
in the movies. Well, Frank Miller wrote Daredevil for a little while, and he wrote some like an origin story of types, and that was what he began with in Frank Miller's story. They said by the like towards the end of the episodes, you'll see him in his like in a more of the red outfit.
right.
So probably like towards the end, before they do the Defenders, you'll see him in the red outfit. So when he's in the Defenders, he'll be in that red outfit.
I think this Daredevil series on Netflix is going to be an absolute smash hit. I think it's going to be just like that Orange is the New Black show that they did on Netflix. That was a Netflix exclusive that was just wildly popular. I think it's going to be at least that big. I think that if you don't have Netflix, then you're doing it wrong, because you need to get it before April 10th. And you need to watch this, because if you haven't seen first of all, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, pause this, go watch that, and then come back, because it's that good. It really is.
I wonder why they release them all at the same time. I mean, I know that Netflix doesn't, get money from commercials, so spacing them out doesn't necessarily get them a huge financial gain. But it makes me wonder why. I mean, it's almost like a movie. You're putting out like an entire 10-episode run in one go, and like the next day everybody will have already watched it. It's like if you want to drum up interest, wouldn't it make more sense to release them like a week apart?
I think it's part of it is because they're the only outlet that can do that. So it's the only place that you can go and say, the whole season's there. You watch it at your leisure. If you want to watch it all at once, good. If you want to watch it 2 episodes
I know
at a
these
time,
days
good.
These days people binge watch everything anyway.
Yeah.
Shit, most of the shows I watch, I wait until the season's over so that I can watch them all in a row.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Like, it's almost weird. It's like, oh, they're doing things differently. Like, it just doesn't feel right for some reason. It's like, I don't know.
I like it. I personally, I like it. I like the fact that you can go and you have access to all of it right out of the gate. So if it is something that, you have a day off work, or you have whatever, a day that you play hooky from work, and you can sit home and watch all of them.
Well, now we know Fox's plans.
I'm just saying.
So like, but have you ever watched a show like, actually watched it as it was released week to week, and just been like super excited for the next episode? Like, it almost feels like you're missing something. Like, even the shows where I'm gonna just like record them all and watch them all in one go later on, like there's still, I don't know, something about them having been released and people talking about them week after week. That's just kind of,
I think part of it.
Part of a shared human experience that heightens the intensity of something, makes it seem more important, makes it like the anticipation factor is higher, I guess.
I mean, I think part of it honestly is the fact that writing a show, going into a show like this, knowing that it's going to be a Netflix only release, that the episodes are all going to be released together. when you're producing the episodes, when you're editing the episodes together, you can edit them in a way to where you don't, those shows that are week to week and then have like a fucking month and a half break in the middle of the season, like Walking Dead or like Breaking Bad did. It's good, but you have to somewhat recap what the last episode did in the first like 30, 60 seconds of the next episode. Maybe even longer, depending on how much it was. So you have to spend some time regurgitating the same information that you've already covered. Even if you can do that in story, in telling, continuing the story forward, you still have to kind of touch on what just happened somehow, just to keep your viewers on track, so to speak, because it's been that break between. But with Netflix, because of the fact that people can binge watch it, and it's really meant for binge consumption. That's the way that they're marketing this thing.
A lot of those series still have like a thing at the beginning, like where they show scenes from previous episodes,
that's what
even the ones that come out all in one chunk.
Yeah, that
Carl, no, watch out.
I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like it. I like it personally.
There was another rumor that that another show might be coming to Netflix soon, licensed from Nintendo. Did you hear this one?
No.
The Legend of Zelda.
Really?
Apparently, Netflix and Nintendo have talked about creating a live-action original series of Zelda for Netflix.
I would fucking watch that.
Right?
I would absolutely fucking watch that.
It's still early, so like at this point they're just kind of discussing the ideas and like there's not like an agreement, there's not a deal or anything, and Nintendo is historically always been very wary of licensing their shit out to anybody. So,
do you guys remember
it might not happen, dude? And I was just
Mario Brothers TV show.
Oh, I was just about to say, and now I totally want to go back and watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show because, dude,
it's on
my
Netflix.
favorite part,
I think it's either on Netflix or Amazon. I've seen it recently. Oh shit, Topher's got it on Blu-ray probably.
Like shit, I got it on disc somewhere here.
He's gonna pull out like a fucking 17-inch laser disc from like 1992. Like, I kept it. I've got the only laser disc player in existence.
I wish. That'd be awesome. That'd probably be worth something today.
I hope not.
I remember when the teachers always pulled that out at school.
The
it was
laser
like
disc
a record.
player.
Record.
It's basically a fucking CD the size of a record.
Pretty much.
You realize there's a good chance that many of the people that are listening to this podcast potentially have not seen or even heard of a laser disc.
Google that
ever.
shit, folks.
I thought you were gonna say if you've never seen or heard of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That is that is also a very real possibility, because it was not on for that long. But essentially, what it was, if you're not familiar, essentially there was a live action Mario and Luigi and I think a princess, and they would have.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like.
Okay, there were a couple segments. It was mainly a cartoon,
right?
But there would be like 2 cartoon episodes within like a half. There would be like 2 cartoon shorts.
If you would have let me explain it, I would have said that, dick.
Well, the live action part though only had Mario and Luigi. Like that was it. And
they had other
I remember
characters on occasion. I literally just watched this on like Netflix or Amazon like a month or 2 ago.
I can't find it. I must have put it somewhere else. It'll turn up.
Fuck that. The movie was better.
Oh god, the movie was terrible.
Do you remember the Double Dragon live action movie?
The movie was awful.
That was horrible too.
Double Dragon was awful.
No, the freaking TV show, the Mario Brothers Super Show was so. I remember Mikhail Gorbachev was even on. And wait, yeah, he even was like on an episode of that for some reason. I don't remember why.
With his head stain.
but like. It was so fun. Like I loved that show as a kid, and so like you'd have the live action Mario and Luigi like in their apartment, like just doing stupid shit, and then they would kind of like
Cut to a cartoon.
Yeah, it would just be like a short segment, leading into the cartoon, and then you'd have the cartoon episode. And I remember, like, it would air, back then shows that aired like every day of the week, and Fridays were always the best because every Friday there was a Zelda cartoon, and the Zelda ones were the best.
Yeah, the actor that played Luigi actually passed away recently. I believe it was Luigi. I think that's what.
Can we see that?
Yeah, died November 28th, 2013, age 72. Danny Wells.
72. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was the actor that played Luigi. That's what I heard. That I saw that on the news, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I used to watch that show like all the time, and so I went and searched it out and found some episodes. I can't remember if it was Netflix or Amazon or Hulu Plus or what. Yeah, there's a good screenshot of Mario and Luigi from the live action show there on Brian's camera.
I don't know. I think John Leguizamo played a better Luigi. Just kidding.
I don't think you understand how distracted I am right now.
You are horribly distracted. It's distracting me. You're so distracted.
I didn't say distracted. I said distressed. Like they're not on my shelf. And
Topher is
and
straight
now I'm like
freaking out at the fact
and now I'm
that
like, where did they go? What happened to them?
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. All right, and the last bit of news that we want to cover today. There is a crazy asshole in this world that had his nose cut off to look like Red Skull.
This is the last one?
This is the last one.
Wow.
Did anybody see the picture? Did any three of us?
I have seen his picture.
It is fucking disgusting. Why would you do that? It's just gross. I mean, he had the whole.
I don't think he looks.
He doesn't look like Red Skull, but the nose thing he got cut off to look like Red Skull's.
He doesn't look anything like Red Skull.
I haven't seen the picture because I was busy reading all the actual comic news about the entire new line of comics that DC announced is coming out in June.
Oh yeah, we should cover that too, I guess.
But
you need to see this though.
Yeah, you need to see it.
You really need to go. Just Google Red Skull guy and it'll come up.
If anybody hasn't seen that out in comic world, Google it at your own risk. Because this guy is like, you just want to go ew. And plus, he cut off the best part. He can't pick his nose anymore.
Also, okay, what's with like the freaking Klingon forehead?
Horns, and he has that like cartilage or the stuff implanted in his head.
Since when did Red Skull have a beard?
Yeah,
I don't. This guy obviously failed at life and failed at being the Red Skull.
Wow. I mean, it's kind of cool looking.
No, not even a little.
No.
In a disturbing sort of way.
Yeah, not even at all. This guy's an idiot. That's where I'm ending
his eyes too.
That's contacts. All right, Topher, take us into the line of comics.
So Marvel and DC have both announced some new comics. Marvel just won in particular. They've announced an A-Force, an all-female Avengers book that's going to be starting during Secret Wars. It's got tons of freaking characters on the cover.
Some dead, some that are dead right now, and some that are alive.
It's kind of interesting. So I don't know, like, obviously some of these characters are going to be part of like other universes. You've got She-Hulk like prominently on the cover. You've got the Runaways Nico, which I think is kind of cool because that's a character that has always been like a fan favorite that people are wanting to get into more major books. So that'll be cool. But then there's several X-Men on here, but they're all in like older or different costumes. Like Dazzler's here in
Is that
her
an Iron Woman?
That's Rescue. That's Pepper Potts' armor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have any offensive weapons. It's only for rescue and defense.
Pretty motherfucking pointless.
She was in the comics back before Dark Reign.
She is going to be quite a warrior.
Before Tony Stark went off and started going on the run from Norman Osborn.
Oh, here's a list of of all of the people on the
I mean, point to one, I can name them. You don't need a
it's
list.
just
Yeah.
well, I know you could do it, but just to get them all: Spectrum, Hellcat, Firestar, Vindicator, Jubilee.
I mean, dude, there's like 20 fucking people. Carolina Dean. There's like
Carolina
20
Dean.
fucking people on this cover. Like the more interesting
Okay.
thing isn't
Go ahead,
like
cut me
who
off.
it is. Well, like you did to me, you mean? Because I would think I was already naming them.
Cat fight.
Anyway, like I was saying, you know, there's several X-Men on here in older costumes. Like Dazzler's on here, like featured pretty prominently, like in her 80s costume, and Storm's right behind her with her 70s hair, and Rogue's got her old costume from the 90s, you know, TV series, and there's a Jean Grey on here, you know,
And a
in the old green Phoenix costume. So like it's going to be interesting because a lot of these characters are from different things, and Spider-Gwen is on here too. So and you got like several lesser characters like
Pixie.
like Alpha, yeah, Pixie's in there too. She's more modern though, but you know, Captain Marvel. But then you've got like Moondragon, who last
We
I
haven't
saw
seen
was
like
dead.
2008.
Yeah, she died during the whole Annihilation War thing, and then you know, you've got Jubilee in her 90s costume, still using her powers, her mutant powers that she doesn't have anymore
Because she's a vampire.
since D-Day, or M-Day. I mean, I said D-Day. And then you've got like Alpha Flight members on here, freaking Aurora and Vindicator and Snowbird. So I mean, like, it's going to be a really interesting.
Wasn't Aurora
combination.
dead too?
I don't know.
Those
Aurora.
dumb Canadian teams.
Yeah, I don't remember. North
But
Star was the.
who's the chick with like? It looks like she's just space.
Okay, so that's a really good question because I thought at first that it was going to be Captain Universe.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like her.
But it's not quite, and they did say I was reading an interview where they said there was going to be a new character for this book called Singularity.
Singularity is her name.
And there's an alternate cover, a variant cover with her
Yeah.
as the only character on the cover. But yeah, it looks very reminiscent of Captain Universe, and so like I was like, okay, this will be interesting. But supposedly that's a new character, so we'll have to see what that's about. But yeah, I hope it's going to be decent. You know, I'll probably pick it up, but you know, anytime they try and shove that many characters in a book, I feel like it's always destined for fail. So, but DC has announced an entire new line.
They're no longer called the New 52 too.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the New 52 branding. They're going to have 49 books going forward for the time being after after Convergence. They're keeping, I want to say, like 25,
24 titles.
20.
Or 20,
Well, they're
20
keeping-
You're right, 25 titles. I'm sorry.
Thanks for cutting me off. They're keeping
No problem,
25
asshole.
titles. They're keeping 25 of their current titles with the numbering intact, and then they're introducing 24 new series that are going to be like ongoings. And there's some pretty cool stuff on this list. I don't know if you've seen Fox, if you've seen the list, but there's going to be a new Starfire ongoing.
Yeah, I was just looking at
a
the
new Green
25
Lantern,
that are continuing.
Cyborg. There's going to be a new Black Canary series. There's going to be a Bizarro limited series, Cyborg.
Doomed.
Yeah, so there's and a couple new ones. There's a Red Hood and Arsenal. There's something called Prez that shows like.
They
you know,
said it was an
robot.
older 70s comic that they're redoing,
It's a
revamping.
comedy-based thing, supposedly.
Mhm. But the thing that stuck out most to me about this list was it wasn't just like a lineup of superheroes. Like all these books look, I mean, sure, a lot of them are superheroes, but like it's not your traditional superhero comic. Like instead of, you know, like one type of book and just, you know, having 50 of them that are different characters, like it looks like each book on this list has a style of its own, you know, and it's probably going to have a different tone. Some look more comedic, some look more spy story, some look more adventure, you know, and so I think it'll be really good. They said the idea here was to you know, get some more diversity and some some new readers and have a little bit of something for everybody. So so I'm sure there will be plenty of titles in here that that we don't like, but somebody will like them, and it looks like they're really doing a lot to reach out to new readers. The We Are Robin one looked kind of interesting to me. It looks almost like a bunch of like street kids, almost doing like parkour and stuff. Like I'm kind of interested to see what that one is.
You know what that makes me feel like, the We Are Robins? You remember in I think The Dark Knight, the second movie of Christopher Nolan's? You remember with all the Batman?
all the
in the
kids,
beginning,
yes.
that's
Yeah.
what reminds me of a bunch of like kids wearing like things that have like the Robin R on it, just
Mhm.
going around doing their thing. But the one I'm looking forward to is Robin, Son of Batman. It seems to me that's just going to be a book all about Damian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
and that cover looks pretty sick too, with that like freaking demon thing he's
Yeah.
moving around on a chain. Oh my god.
But like you said, some of these books like look just like like Batmite.
You know what is interesting to me is
Well-
our former guest Jean Luen Yang that we got to talk to last year is going to be writing Superman going forward with
Really?
John Romita Jr. as the artist for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I heard Jeff Johns wasn't doing Superman anymore. I did not see that he was writing it.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's cool.
I'll have to reach out to Gene and see if we can get him back on the show to talk about that a little bit. That's awesome.
I was just in the bookstore the other night with a friend of mine, and she was looking through stuff. She's like, "Oh my god, there's an Avatar comic." It was like this giant bound
Mhm.
book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, and the artist on there, that's one of Jean Luen Yang's, right? And she looks down, she's like, yeah, how'd you know that? I'm
Writer.
like, oh, I talked
he's
to
a
him.
writer, not an
Or
artist.
right, I mean writer, that's what I meant. And I'm like, yeah, we talked to him actually, and she's like, that's so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's I'm gonna see if we can get him back on the show to talk about that. So, well, we'll have to stay
Tuned.
stay tuned to see how all this stuff pans out through these major events in both DC and Marvel.
And you'll have to tune in next week to see if the reason Pirate's not here is because he's cutting his nose off to look like the Red Skull.
That's
I
right.
think he's not here because he's caught the scurvy from Captain Hook.
That could be it.
that could be.
And by
Swapping
scurvy-
decks.
You mean genital warts.
Yes.
Swapping too many booties.
All right. That's it for this week. I'm Fox 2. We got Topher.
I was gonna make some other pirate joke, and all I got is R.
and the whole effing Brian.
Yeah, but I have it in question form. Or?
R.
We'll see you guys.